What's going on, podcasters and YouTubers? This is Hav here, one of your hosts from the Real Fan Review. Today with me, we got my brother B.
What's going on, everybody?
Yeah, we got our man in the chair, Al.
How's it going, everybody?
Yes, sir. It's going to be three of us tonight. No Sanj. Sanj doing his thing, working. But us three are here tonight. We're going to talk about some of these news from this week. We got a Scream trailer for the new Scream franchise, or I don't think it's a new franchise. This is just another continuation of the original franchise. I saw some was it Lieutenant Dewey? I thought I saw Lieutenant Dewey in there. So
he wasn't happy to be there.
Sheriff Dewey. So we are going to talk about Scream. We'll talk about a new signing to the MCU. Adam Warlock's in the building. And we're going to talk about fandom, not fandom, because it was fandom. Dumb as shit. So we'll talk about some of the stuff we saw in there because there were some cool things to talk about there. So let's get right into the first item of the week, which was the signing of Will Poulter, or William Poulter, fame of Detroit. Man, that's when I saw him act his ass off, and there he scared me. I'm like, what a racist. He's a scary cop. He did his thing in that movie, but my first actual introduction to Mr. Poulter was Meet the Millers. Me and the wife saw the movie when we went to Florida, one of our first trips together. We went to the movie theaters to go see this movie, and it was pretty funny. It was all right, not bad, but I never figured that guy would be our Adam Warlock.
That's exactly how I actually want him to play Adam Warlock.
Al, man, what's your thoughts on Mr. Poulter joining the MCU there?
I want to say it's the same kind of reaction I had when I heard about Pattinson playing Batman. Like, I don't see it.
You don't see it?
Kid, I don't see it, especially when you consider, isn't Warlock supposed to be like an intimidating, powerful character?
It's going to be one of the strongest MCU characters.
He was supposed to be the one who fights Thanos, so.
Yeah, so. I don't know. Nothing against the guy, but still, like when you think of some of these characters, you have a certain image in your head. That was not what I had in my head, not even close. With all these other actors out there that they could have tapped to play the role, I'm just surprised. I mean, he's like you say, he's a good actor. I've seen him in a couple of other things. Right. So it's not a reflection or a consideration of his acting abilities. It's just, it's a visual form. It's movies. You got to not only be able to act the part, but to a certain degree, look the part. Yeah,
absolutely.
And I don't know. We'll see. Maybe when he's on the film, maybe on the screen, maybe I have a totally different reaction. But
yeah, listen, I've learned my lesson from judging actors. Because listen, man, the Joker we got from The Dark Knight, when I was like, Brokeback Mountain is gonna be Joker, and he killed it. So, well, Brandon, man, how about your thoughts, man? One of your favorite MCU characters there coming to real life. What's your thoughts on that signing?
I'm just, obviously the MCU storyline of Adam Warlock is very different, in the comics than what's happened here. He was initially, he was the possessor of the Soul Stone in the comics.
That's right.
So he was the one who actually went up against Thanos, took the glove, became a whole other being because of it. Like, it was a whole thing. So for him to be coming after the whole Thanos thing is going to be interesting. But, it's funny when they announced William Poulter, I think back on his previous roles and I think the last thing I saw him in that I remember was the Bandersnatch movie, where he played like the tech douchebag, But I always go back to We're the Millers, and like knowing James Gunn, I feel like that's exactly what he thought of when he did this. Like, this is gonna be like stupid Adam Warlock. We have this in our mind, like he's gonna be the most powerful thing in the universe, and he's gonna come out like, huh? So right. I think he's gonna be some kind of comedic routine, like stupid idiot that like, is the most powerful thing, but he doesn't really know it. And then, at the end of the movie, he becomes something. Like that's what I think was going to happen. Just knowing it's James Gunn who just did Suicide Squad and just put Will Poulter as Adam Warlock. Like so I feel like there's a comedy bit going on here.
Yeah, that you're hitting on something that's a fear of mine with that is that because they've strayed away from the path of Adam Warlock, right? We already had the Infinity War saga and the Infinity Gauntlet and all that stuff. That's all done. So some of the main stories of his are pretty much already out of there. So is this going to be one of these things where we're building up a character and then he's probably like gone by the end of the movie?
It's James Gunn. You never know.
Yeah, especially after Suicide Squad. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the thought was that we were gonna have him for Infinity War. So now that we're like 4 years later, I have no idea what the point is.
Yeah,
or what
didn't they allude to him at the end of one of the movies?
Yeah,
like they showed him in that Incubus or whatever it was.
Yeah, Guardians Volume 2.
And that he was supposed to be perfection or something along those lines. So
yeah, because when we last left off, it was the I forget the name of the people, but they were the gold people, and it was a cocoon in there, and she was like kind of like saying, Adam is coming, or that's Adam, and hinting at Adam Warlock. So that's a whole different incarnation because they also played around with having the cocoon inside of the I forgot the name of the guy.
Inside of the case in the
collector's case there, and it didn't turn out to be him, or it was an empty cocoon after some of the scenes in there. So who knows? So it's just a whole different iteration of the character. Just looking to see what they do with it, and hopefully, something that's amazing and something that we'll all love when we see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
There's a lot of potential for the storylines that they have coming up. So I'm hoping it actually plays out well.
Yeah, definitely, man. We got our fingers crossed, man, and we'll keep our eyes on anything. I'm sure we'll probably get a still once he's on stage there, because I think the tweet was "see you in a week" or "see you pretty soon" in a couple of weeks there from Adam Gunn to William Poulter when he was introduced as Adam Warlock to the Guardians of the Galaxy there. So I guess once they have those dress rehearsals or those like CGI shootings of the character, we'll get a glimpse of him and see how he looks, and then we'll definitely let you guys know what we think for sure. So listen, in other news this past week, man, another trailer dropped, and it was Scream, one of these old good horror stories that it's a classic. The first Scream, the next three Screams were pretty okay, nothing too crazy to Scream Home 2. Scream Home 2. But it's one of those characters that you can't pretty much keep them away from movies for a long time. I know they had an MTV TV show about it that didn't really do too well, but we're always going to have this Scream character. I think it was just such a hit. There's no way they weren't going to do it again sometime soon, and sure enough, here we are. Now, Brandon, did you get a chance to see that Scream trailer?
I did.
Hey, what's your thoughts on that?
It was interesting. Like, I forget the trailer we were talking about a long time ago about nostalgia. It was before we were talking about Ghostbusters, and it was like a movie from the past they were continuing. I forgot what one it was, but it's like the same thing. Like it was just like, oh, Jackass. It was like Jackass, right? So like, when we saw the Jackass 4 trailer, it was like heartwarming because it felt like we were like really reuniting with old friends. And so when I saw this Scream trailer, I was like, oh, it seems pretty cool. Like, and I completely agree. Like, Scream 1 and 2 were awesome. And then, like, everything else after that was kind of like, all right, Sydney. Like, when they did, what was it, 4? Scream 4, and it was, like, stupid. Because it had, like, Hayden Panettiere and all that. It was like a dumb one. It was just really terrible. It was like what this one was. It's like what this one is trying to be, but it was just before its time, kind of a thing.
Right.
So like, I was like, I watched it and I was like, oh, it's cool. They got the old characters back. They've got this new story that apparently the Scream character is killing people who were related to the initial people who died. I'm like, this is like that's pretty interesting, you know. So I hope it just doesn't suck. You know,
Yeah.
I like the twist with like the, you know, obviously they're always trying to incorporate the new age technology like they did in Scream 4, which was okay, you know, but like, you know, with the automated home opening up the door and all that stuff, like I thought that was a cool twist. I think it worked better now than it did before. So, you know, I have high hopes that it doesn't suck.
Yeah, I mean, and watching the trailer, Al, you see like almost the original Scream, the beginning first 5 minutes kind of played out in this trailer also with this new character here.
Yeah.
Just your thoughts from seeing the trailer, man. Are you getting vibes from the first one or more like towards the end of the Scream?
No, actually, like Brandon was saying, like I had more of a vibe of Scream 1 or 2. Like it didn't come off campy. It didn't come off a joke like as a joke. It looked like they're trying to take it serious and, you know, just do the story. But they're kind of aware of themselves. Like there was the one line that they have from Nev Campbell when she's talking to I think one of the other girls, and she goes, "I've been through this a lot." So, so I just found, you know, but it didn't seem corny or cheesy, you know, like the movie we'll talk about later. I felt like they're trying to be serious, and I'm hoping from what I saw in the preview, they may actually get away with it and succeed. So I'm hoping, you know, that we get a good movie and it reminds us of why there's a sixth Scream movie.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Is this a 6 or 5?
I think 5.
Oh, it's 5?
Five.
Okay. Fifth
5, maybe 6 with the TV show. So, yeah, listen, man. Seeing Courtney Cox and was it? Is it Will Hart? No, not Hartnett. I forgot the name of the guy who plays Dewey. But you know, these guys are all, you know, those are the characters from the original, man, and they were in part 1, 2, 3.
Oh, David Arquette.
David Arquette. Yeah, I mean, it's again seeing familiar faces makes it a little bit more like, oh, there you guys go. These are our characters. You know what I mean? So it's like Fast and Furious. As corny as it is, it's family.
Yeah.
Family. Yeah, man. So listen, we're looking forward to seeing Scream. I think they said January 13th or January sometime. So looking forward to that, man. And listen, me and Al saw a trailer yesterday for Ghost or Black Ghost or Black Face.
Whatever that movie. I
Black
forgot
Phone.
what it was.
It was Black Phone.
The Black Phone, yeah. But
that's coming out in March. That looks pretty interesting.
Yeah, but I'm learning to hold myself back because, you know, ever since Malignant, I don't trust myself with previews no more.
The thing was in the back of her head.
Good.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, they need to just make previews from now on. That's it.
Oh my goodness, crazy, man. So yeah, listen, that's the top 2 news things from this past week there. You know, if you guys got a chance to watch the Scream trailer, whoever's watching on YouTube or listening on a podcast, what did you think of the Scream trailer? What do you think of the signing of Will Poulter as Adam Warlock? So let us know what you're thinking or your thoughts on those. Just comment below on the YouTube there, or if you're listening on the podcast, email us at therealfanreview@gmail.com. Now, let's get into the real part of this story that we're watching today is Fandome. DC Fandome was over the weekend, and luckily Al and Brandon did not have to watch that retarded stupidity. It was really boring compared to last year, man. Last year was amazing.
Yeah.
You know, it's nonstop news about I remember we were talking about Gotham Knights. Me and Brandon were loving Gotham Knights the way that looked.
It was great.
Yeah.
They did Gotham Knights again this time, which is a video game for the PS5.
Yeah.
You know, and they had a couple of guest appearances of different actors and stuff like that. But I gotta say, man, this year was a little bit corny, especially some of the actors. The guy who plays Flash, Ezra Miller.
Oh my God.
Well, oh Jesus Christ, dude. I guess the nice thing is to say is that he's eccentric.
Yeah.
Fucking weirdo. But there was a lot of good trailers and little. Actually, there was really one trailer and a bunch of like first looks at a bunch of different things. I'm
There was
surprised they
only
didn't.
one trailer.
Really one trailer, right? But there was a bunch of looks. We got to look at the Black Adam. We got to look at Shazam: Fury of the Gods. We got to look at Aquaman, Part Two, which I forgot the name of the movie, but it's Aquaman 2 pretty much. We got
Deep.
Word. What is it?
Aquaman 2 Deeper Water.
Too deep. Aquaman, that's what she said. We got, the Batman, of course. We got a trailer for that. We got word that Wonder Woman 3 is in the works. That's the premise, I guess, the biggest quote unquote surprise. We kind of knew Wonder Woman 3 was going to come eventually at some point. But I'm really surprised that they didn't have any kind of shout outs to like a new Superman or a Justice League or Robin or something, or, just nothing special. I think they mentioned the Blue Beetle really quickly as well. But let's talk about some of these things that we saw as far as the visuals there. The first thing that came up was Black Adam, which is a movie that The Rock has been working on for a while now. We finally got our first few images of it. Al, any thoughts on Black Adam?
Yeah, it looks like it has a lot of potential. I liked the little clip that we had, where they show him come to, I guess they call him or they release him somehow or whatever it was, and he grabs that one guy by the neck, and it looks good. If they keep it dark like that, I think it has a good chance of being a good movie.
Yeah, I mean, it looked very interesting. Magical, a little overpowered, man. I mean, did he stop a bullet with his two fingers?
Yeah.
Brad, you got a chance to watch the Black Adam there?
I did. The thing that killed me about this DC fandom is that it's wonderful that we got like a minute clip of many things, but like in that minute clip for Black Adam, besides the floating crown, that the lady spoke the words to release him and all that stuff, like the shot of the lightning bolt on his suit, to represent Shazam and stuff, like I was kind of like underwhelmed because it was cool to see that it's happening. It's been what, 9 years since The Rock first said he was doing the role. So like I think it was right around the time Green Lantern came out that The Rock was like, yeah, we're doing Black Adam, right? That was a long time ago. Right. So like as much as I am interested in this movie, I feel like at this point in time, I needed to see more to be sold on it.
Gotcha.
And while it was cool to get that first look, this movie's coming out in February.
Something like that, yeah.
So, like, I'd prefer a teaser trailer. Like, that was a teaser of a teaser,
Yeah, I think
that was that was the case throughout this whole fandom.
Yeah, everything was like this.
You would have thought we heard all these same movies last year. To your point, Hob, like you would have thought we'd have had at least a couple of scenes, or at least one or two scenes.
It's like
you were doing
something.
fandom.
Yeah.
So from each movie, I at least have one scene where you've done, even rough the CGI and everything.
It's not like we haven't seen that before, I
mean, you saw Jason Momoa riding like a fake horse with nothing behind him. I mean, come on, like throw some do something to make it more interesting.
Or how about this? If you don't have nothing to show, don't do a show.
That's it. That's the whole thing. That's my entire problem. Just release the goddamn trailers. Like, that's it. Like, don't do a 5-hour event to do nothing. Like, it's great to hype people up, but if you hype people up about the event and you don't deliver, then you look like shit. In DC, I'm sorry, you look like shit after this one.
Yeah, absolutely, man. They look pretty bad with this one, man, because I don't think they planned it right. Again, the biggest thing was a trailer, and then you had to watch it for 4 hours to see it, or just wait till it ended and it was on YouTube. So, so it's just like I should have just waited for YouTube. But before we get there, man, there was some behind the scenes looks at this Aquaman movie. Rise of the Fins, I think. No. But it's Aquaman 2. And there was also
Fish Too Furious.
Oh God, this is gonna be bad. So we have Aquaman 2, and then there was also some behind the scenes of Fury of the Gods where you got to see Helen Mirren, Lucy Liu. You saw those characters on the screen. Plus, you saw the Marvel family, or is that what they're called, Brandon? They're called the Marvel family.
I guess so.
Oh, Brandon's giving up on these movies. But yeah, they showed some behind the scenes looks, and to be honest with you, it was really nothing too impressive. I mean, especially with Aquaman, they basically said that everyone that was in the first movie is coming back. I'm like, that's unexciting.
Yeah. Well, what's the name? What's the villain's name? The Black Manta or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked good. That the way they brought, they updated the costume and so forth. And by the way, it's Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom.
Thank you, Al.
not Two Fish, Too Furious.
Nah. But that I'll give it. That when they showed that clip, and again, it was a photo. Like they couldn't even show a clip of him filming that scene. It was a still. But it looked good. So I'm hoping the finished product is just as good as the first Aquaman.
Yeah, I mean, to hear how hyped up Jason Momoa was like, oh, that's awesome. He's really happy to do it.
See, I feel like that's like Jason Momoa though. Like I feel like he can't not hype up his movie because he's Jason Momoa. Like in the way they even talked about the movie, they're like, oh, this one's gonna be like super, super funny. Like we're really going at the jokes. And then the next sentence was, yeah, this movie's very mature. We're really going to be serious about this. I'm like, wait, are we going to be funny? Are we going to be mature? Or are we going to be serious? Like, which way are we going? Those are three very different ways.
Absolutely. Yeah, and listen, anything impress you with Fury of the Gods? Nothing. Yeah, because I didn't really see much.
No.
I didn't really see much.
I get. I'm like, we say this all the time, and we roasted the Black Widow movie for this same thing. You made a movie to introduce Shazam and talk about how he's this better part of this DC universe that's in shambles right now with all these superheroes. We're going to make this guy work. And at the end of the movie, what'd you do? You put a whole family of Shazam people so that way he doesn't have to be the only one writing it. Like, it's just like, so now we have Fury of the Gods, but it stars the Shazam family, right? So it's like, do you have faith in Zachary Levi to carry? It's kind of like the same thing that happened to Black Widow. In order to make this guy work, you brought in a whole family of people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He couldn't stop the bad guy by himself, so here are 4 other people.
It's kind of crazy, man. Yeah, I mean, look, am I super hyped off of those 2 movies? Not really.
No.
The only reason I'm hyped to see Aquaman is because it did well. The first one was okay, and I like Jason Momoa. I think he's a good actor as far as like when it comes to action. He's not like an actor, but he's a
no, but he brings it. Yeah,
he brings it when he does these movies, and I'm looking forward to Fury of the Gods with Shazam. I actually really like Shazam. I thought it was pretty good, a pretty good story. It took me by surprise, some of the stuff that I saw in that movie. So seeing part 2, of course, I'll be there for that, But nothing that made me like, oh my God. Like I was telling Brandon earlier, and Al knows this also. If anything had been crazy or like amazing, I would have been texting these guys all these crazy emojis and stuff like that. It was quiet. It was quiet Saturday night. Very quiet.
Yeah, kid, I was working, and I would have seen like text or Twitter messages showing like this was happening. And I wasn't hearing anything. There was no alerts, no notifications, nothing.
I didn't even get the same thing. Like I always get notification that the new trailers dropped. I didn't get nothing. Not even a mention of Fandome.
No. When I did the YouTube search for Fandome, like there was nothing coming up. Like nobody had done a highlight clip.
No one gave a shit.
Forget it.
And listen, am I confused here? Is Fandome a made up word? Isn't it fandom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they were trying to make it like here is the event, the Superdome of DC.
DC.
I'm gonna tell you guys what my wife says all the time.
Oh,
You
God.
sound dumb. You sound dumb. Oh my God.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. So then now let's get into something that's a little bit more of a trailerish, if we want to call it a trailer, which was Ezra Miller's The Flash. We finally got some shots and some scenes in the movie, but a lot of like just a lot of cock teasing. But it's, it
A
really
lot.
wasn't. It really wasn't anything too crazy. You got to see the new Flash suit.
Yeah.
You know,
Which
there's
looks
some people
good.
on. Well, there's some people online saying that the Flash suit might not be the Flash. It might be actually Reverse Flash or a different evil Flash or something like that. But we'll talk more about that if it comes up. But
Mhm.
it just seemed like just like little stuff here and there. I mean, there's more work on that than I thought because you had the effects on the suit there. You had, you saw Ezra Miller, which looked like Gotham, but I'm not
Yeah.
sure if it's Gotham in his timeline or did he go into somebody else's timeline? Because they've been hinting at that this is the Michael Keaton Batman, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So I
I
mean,
think isn't Ben Affleck's character Batman in there too? They're both in there.
supposedly, yeah, he's supposed to have all those two Batmans in there.
Yeah.
I
And
wouldn't be
Supergirl.
surprised if some more. Yeah, Supergirl in there. And I think in the trailer they kind of showed the Supergirl character, but there was
Yeah.
also a second Ezra Miller in there also.
Yeah.
So, Al, man, what was your thoughts on that Flash there?
I mean, the suit looked good. And I didn't pick up that was a Reverse Flash because I thought Reverse Flash was yellow and
Right.
orange, but more yellow. So I thought this was the Flash, and I liked the suit. I thought it had, the highlights and the light trims look good. Visually, it made me feel like the movie is going to look good.
Mhm.
It's just that, it all comes down to story. So I'm hoping they do the Flashpoint storyline well, because
Mhm.
they're going to have to change it up, for how I hear they're adapting it from the actual Flashpoint. But again, as long as they can make it work in terms of a good story and hopefully open it up for other movies, because
Yeah.
it's going to be set with the entire universe that they have at their disposal. I mean, the characters that they have access to and all of the IP that they have, you have to create a universe. I mean, not that you have to do Marvel, but you have the opportunity to open up so many other avenues for you to go down. I can't see them just staying with these same three. I mean, you somehow the biggest character, Superman, and you're not pursuing him. Batman, you're almost throwing away, and
It's almost like they have no idea what to do with anybody else.
and they have major characters, and there's so much
Yeah.
other stuff there. They need to bring another creative mind in there, to run that because it feels like they're losing on so many opportunities.
Especially like, back in like the early 2000s, they had released on Cartoon Network the Justice League show, right? And it focused on just the 7 core Justice League members. And then 2 years later, they released a show called Justice League Unlimited, which spanned all the heroes in the DC universe, a part of the Justice League, and they worked in and out of teams with the core 7. So you got to see all these other heroes do things, and that alone showed you that there was like over 100 different DC superheroes that are active in comics.
Yeah.
And still we're stuck on Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And now we're going to add the Flash in. Like we're stuck on these 4 because yes, they're the core 7. We can't deny that Batman and Superman are probably the most popular in the DC universe. So yes, we want them to be the most successful. But like that's 4 out of 7 who are popular out of 100 different superheroes. And and the crap they talk, like, listen, Marvel's been doing this for over a decade now, which is, they've done incredible. And I know they keep talking about how Iron Man was a B-list superhero. That's bullshit. He wasn't. But in the swear getting the Eternals as a movie. In the Eternals, there's going to be the Black Knight. If we were going to talk about any other D-list rank superheroes who are getting a movie now, then I don't understand why Zatanna, why like literally anybody else from DC can't get a movie. You know,
Nightwing.
even if we're gonna keep with the whole Batman stuff and being the Dark Knight universe and all that, then yeah, Nightwing movie would be great because people love Nightwing and it's different because he's technically not Batman. So like we keep sticking and trying to reboot these 4 characters and make movies about them, but like there's so many other things you can do, and they can't do it.
And the sad part is they got all these animated movies that are doing well.
They kill it.
Adapt one of these into a live action.
Yeah, but even those adapted, they concentrate on those main guys, and not for nothing, Brent. I know you get that where you hear that Iron Man was a B-list or D-list, well, B-list character, but you know why? It's because the X-Men were so popular, you know, Spider-Man was so popular, you know, all those characters got more shine than Captain America. Even I remember, you know, reading the comic books, X-Factor and all these other like X units were X-Force were even more popular than Captain America and Hulk and all these people at some point in the like late 90s, early 90s, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I get it, man. They should be highlighting other characters because it's kind of getting worn now. You know, Batman. Okay, we love Batman, but let's see somebody else, man. Give us somebody new. Maybe we might like them. You know? I didn't know I was going to like Hawkeye. Oh, man. So, yeah, man, listen, that was pretty much it as far as like stuff that they were showing on there. The main thing that they showed there, of course, was The Batman. Robert Pattinson's The Batman movie that's coming out in, I believe, March. It's supposed to be coming out. Yeah. So we got a couple months to go before it comes out. And they showed this new trailer there for The Batman. And, you know, it just looked good. It looked interesting. I'm kind of like Al. I'm like weird on Robert Pattinson's Batman. He looks just a little off somewhere. Yeah. But again, this is supposed to be
the hair.
It's supposed to be like a year 1, year 2 Batman. So it's, of course, it's in his younger stages again. But I don't know, man. There's a grittiness to it. It's brutal. Batman's brutal in this, but I don't know, man. I'm still not like losing my shit over this Batman for some reason. Like the first trailer was amazing. I lost my mind with the first trailer they sent out. This second trailer, I didn't get that vibe of like, oh shit, I can't wait for March. I got that. Okay, it's cool. I'm ready for it. B, how about yourself, man? What's your thoughts when you saw that trailer for the Batman?
Tonally, it felt very different. You know, like when we got the first trailer, it was unexpected to be like, oh shit, this is Batman. Oh, he looks a little bit more violent. Okay. Oh, year 1. And then like this trailer came and there was like all these crazy explosions, all these fight scenes, Batman just beating the shit out of people. And like they're really selling us on this broken Bruce Wayne who is out of control in essence. The whole thing seems like he's a guy out for revenge, you know, and he is very out of control, where Alfred is visibly worried about not even him being Batman, just him doing what he's doing. Like it looks like he's tiptoeing the line that he's trying not to cross, you know? Yes. And so the line that we know Batman doesn't cross, I should rephrase. So like, you know, a lot of this trailer, while we got some great looks at the Penguin, the Riddler, you know, Catwoman, we got all these great, even the Joker gang, what it looks like, a Joker gang, you know, like great looks at a lot of different things. But when it came to Robert Pattinson, you're right, you know, he looks like a younger Bruce Wayne who is, it seems like a lot of the things lately is characters going through trauma and having us relate to that trauma of the character, like James Bond, you know? So it seems like this is an early Bruce Wayne who has just gotten some kind of training in martial arts and is still really haunted by the death of his parents. So it seems. And he's going on this vigilante bruising spree, you know? But, like, other than that, like, the trailer just seems like, I don't know, it kind of felt like I was watching a trailer for Kick-Ass. You know, like it was just abnormally violent for Batman.
So you thought you was watching Big Daddy?
Yeah, yeah. I was waiting for the shotgun to come out. You know, like
He's not wearing hockey pads.
like okay, like we talked about Ben Affleck's Batman, right? How he was
Yeah.
using the gun and all this stuff, and like how he was very violent. But like I feel like compared to that, we're in a whole different league now with Pattinson's
Yeah.
Batman. Like it's just it was very violent for the sake of being violent. And while I'm not against violence, in the sense of the movie ish,
Yeah,
it just
entertainment.
seemed it just seemed like it was a bit much.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Like I know, like year one Batman wasn't the detective. It was a while before he became the detective. But even in that sense, he wasn't like a a bruiser. Like
Right. How about
So
you,
I
Al,
don't
man?
know.
What'd you think of the trailer? Because it was a lot of little fight scenes,
Yeah.
and like Brandon said, a little bit more action involved in this trailer. But I don't know, it didn't come off like that's Batman. It came off like this guy that's like Brandon says, out of control.
Yeah, yeah. And that's actually the part that I want to see if they explore is like, because remember, he's still at this point a child. Like, what is he? I think supposed to be early 20s. Still dealing with that his parents were murdered in front of him, and he's using his wealth and resources to avenge them by attacking every criminal, I guess, that he knows. So
Mhm.
if they stay with that aspect of the movie, I want to see where they go. Because there
Mhm.
was the one line that I liked was like when he was talking about the bat symbol,
Mhm.
and he's like, not only is it a call, but it's a warning. So it's
Mhm.
like, this is a Batman who's not seeking justice. He's not trying to bring anybody in. He's trying to, you know,
Break them.
yeah, he just wants to kick ass. So I just want to see how they explain that and then show his progression away from it, or what? Like, I just want to see where they're going with this story. How does Selena Kyle fit in? And Catwoman, is she going to be the love interest Catwoman, or is she going to be an antagonist? So, I just want to see, especially when they have so many of the villains in the movie at the same time.
Mhm.
I want to see the involvement of Penguin. But especially since they have the actual that he's a corrupt seems to be a corrupt politician, and then he
Right.
devolves into the Penguin. Um, so I just want to see all that. I can't still get my head around Pat. I still can't get around him when I see him as Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
It hits me that it's him doing all the acting as Batman, and it takes me back out. Because when I see
Yeah.
those Batman clips, I'm like, damn, shit. He's fucking people up.
Right.
He's got gang members scared of the symbol and this and that. And then you see him, and I'm like, how? Like, the clothes are bigger than him. Like, I don't understand how he's doing all this damage when he goes out. So,
Yeah. He's wearing Batman pajamas.
yeah, man. So, I'm the two trailers give me hope that it's going to be a real good movie, and I'm hoping that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that's good about the trailers is that, one of our heavy complaints is whenever they show us too much on the trailers. And luckily, like, they showed us a lot, but we still don't get what the story is. We
Yeah.
don't know what's really going on. And there's a lot of hints to Riddler being the main villain of this thing, which is kind of cool. And that brings me to another thing, Al. I mean, what you see the Riddler's prominent in the trailer from the beginning. He's being arrested, and it looks like he's the one that's antagonizing Batman. So, I mean, what's your thoughts on the Riddler there? Did he give you any good vibes?
Yeah, no, the one thing I do like about this is it looks like it might be a deep movie, like because
Mhm.
he's not. It doesn't seem like he's in the past they always had the Riddler be just some crazy criminal that's just doing crime for the fuck of it.
Mhm.
But this time I feel like he's being a criminal to expose other criminality that's being done by those that are supposed to be the good guys.
The heroes.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Um, and like, Bruce Wayne and the Waynes may be even part of that. Oh, you
Mm.
thought you were the good guys, but you're not. There's a couple of lines that allude to that. So I like the fact that there's going to be, and that to me is sometimes the best movies where you can agree with both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on which side, like angle you look at, you almost could agree with both sides and why they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? So, depending on how they play out the penguin, the Riddler, and why he's doing what he's doing, and what he might be trying to expose, who's the bad guy, and that'll be a good premise. If they go down like, is Batman the bad guy because he's actually protecting these guys that are, the politicians and corrupt police, but he doesn't actually know that he's doing that, or is the Riddler the bad guy just because of what he's doing to expose what he's trying to expose? So it's I don't know. Maybe I've read too much into the trailers, but it seems like it might be going down that, it's a little deeper than just a good guy, bad guy movie.
No, man, I'm completely with you on that, man. That's exactly what it looks like to me, especially when you see the brutality in how Batman's handling these villains. Whether they have done something or not, he is getting at the ass. Son.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, Brandon, how about you, man? You getting that same vibe too? That Riddler's probably putting the mirror up to Batman?
Like it kind of seems that way, and I think that's a good spin on the character and how they'll work with Batman. Especially this Batman who seems like he's over the edge.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to put him even more over the edge? And it seems like Paul Dano's Riddler is going to be doing a good job of doing that.
Yeah, man. Looking forward to it, man. I didn't leave the trailer saying, "Oh my God, I need to see this right now," but I did leave going, "All right, I'm in. I'm in. I'll reserve my ticket."
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Listen, in a nutshell, that was the DC Fandome event, and I hope a lot of you guys out there that are watching this didn't really waste your time 4 hours watching that entire thing. I luckily watched it after the fact, so I got to fast forward stuff that looked stupid. I heard one of the biggest announcement was that the Flash from CW's has gold boots.
Right?
Was that an actual announcement?
Yeah, it was like he's got gold boots.
Season 8. It was funny. It was a picture. It was a poster for season 8, and literally it was him like on his knee showing off the gold boots. That's what we come to. Season 8 gold boots.
Season 8 gold boots.
Sense to end Arrow. I think they need to realize that about the Flash.
Yeah, man, it's just nuts, man. But again, I hope next year if they do this event again, it's done a little bit better with some surprises. Because again, they cannot repeat this stuff again. All these things, and also a lot of these movies will have already came out, so they'll have to come up with something better than this. Because I don't think people are going to watch as much as they did this year and last year, especially with the way that this year went, man. So listen, guys, if you're watching out there, put a little comment below, email us, let us know what you thought of that DC Fandome event, or if you didn't watch it smartly, you probably watched that Batman trailer. Are you excited to see this movie? Are you even amped up to see this movie? I know we're just pretty much like, yeah, we're ready to go, but wish we had a little bit more to be like, oh my God, that was crazy. But nah, nothing like that. Yeah, man. And listen, the last thing we're going to talk about today, Brandon did not get a chance to make it. Brandon was in the middle of a nice little move there. But me and Al got a chance to watch Halloween Kills yesterday on nice little surround sound AMC Dolby.
Yeah, man.
Shaking the chairs.
Oh, yeah.
And, just a quick non-spoiler review. We're not going to spoil anything because we want Brandon to get a chance to watch it also without spoiling it for him. So, Al, what would you tell Brandon about this movie? Would you recommend Halloween Kills to Brandon?
No. If you like the first one, yeah, watch it. I mean, don't go crazy. Don't cancel other plans to go watch it. But yeah, watch it. It's a good continuation of the first story. It gets off the rails a little bit a few times with some of the stuff. I don't know if they were trying to be political or if they were trying to relay a message around the current times or what they were trying to do. But there's there's a theme that they kept trying to promote in terms of something, ending tonight and so forth. I'm like, how many times are you going to say it? Like, come on, like,
just do it already.
Yeah, exactly. It was like,
It's gonna
I'm tired of hearing it. So, but it was good seeing that they stood true to the story. There was a good dedication to the Michael Myers character. I never felt like they watered him down in any way. The scenes were crazy, when he does his killing. It didn't seem childish or gimmicky in that sense. It was more of the filler parts of the movie that I had an issue with. But in terms of a horror movie, it's good. It carries the Halloween theme throughout in terms of, Michael Myers, and he's just a killer. There's no rhyme or reason, and it carries that same trope throughout the movie. So in terms of that aspect, I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was just that one aspect. Was it C. Thomas Howell? What's his name? C. Michael Thomas or?
Oh, I don't remember the guy's name, but
yeah, Weird Science. His character. Yeah. They could have either taken him out of the movie or just cut a couple of his scenes out, and it would have been a much better movie for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you don't need to see it, or don't rush to see it, or more don't rush to see it, because if you did watch the first Halloween, not the 1978 version, even though it's kind of like 1978 and the 2019 or 2020 Halloween, one of those, the one that the most recent one that just came out, and then this one, it's like a 3-arc movie kind of thing so far. And if you watch those two movies, you're gonna want to see Halloween Kills, because it kind of like continues the story. But like Al said, this side story or side thing that's happening, it's a part of the story, but it's just so off base, and it's annoying because, again, like I was just saying, it just repeats itself. It's like, we get it. shouldn't be like that. You shouldn't do that. Yeah, fine. But at the same time, some of those Michael Myers kills were brutal, dude. There was some that I looked at, I was like, damn, son.
The one in the car.
There's one kill that's just absolutely ridiculously funny. There's like these characters that you don't expect to be a part of the story, and then they get taken out, and you're just like, oh shit. It's just nuts, man. But it's a weird story because it kind of goes all over the place. We're following Michael Myers, and we're following some other group of people, then we're following the people from the first movie. It's just like, what in the hell is going on here? But it does tie up all at the end. It just, the story itself wasn't that good, but the killings and what you're there for, a Michael Myers movie, you kind of get it. So, I don't really recommend that everyone go rush to see it, but it's a cool movie. Again, if you watched Halloween, the most recent one, then this one is kind of like the follow-up. So, that's pretty much, you should give it a check.
Yeah. If you're doing, what is it, Spooktober or something? What do they call it? Spooktober? Yeah, definitely do it for that part. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, man. But listen, that is going to be us for tonight, man. This week, we're going to all try to check out Dune. So we'll check out Dune and get a review for Dune, and any news that comes up this week, we'll talk about it and bring it up on the podcast next week. So listen, that's going to be us for tonight. We thank you guys for listening, for watching, as always. So coming out of Long Island, New York, we got my brother B.
Have a good night, everybody.
We got our man in the chair, Al.
Have a good night.
And myself, Hop Guy, saying thank you so much for listening, watching. Please hit the subscribe button on the YouTube. Hit the little plus symbol if you're listening to us on a podcast playlist there. Just add us there, and you'll be up to date with us with all the stories and reviews and movies and stuff that we talk about every week. Adios. We'll catch you on the next podcast. Until next time.